Hungary Games. Back again. Now this episode's special because I decided to revamp each person's individual skill set. So, I'm not just gonna skip through them. You're gonna read each individual stat. At least most of them should be changed, at least. At least one stat per person should be changed. See? There are some stat changes, along with some new people. Here is our first new person. Anyone from Forsaken should know this character's skin. 7 strength, 8 speed, 8 intelligence, 8 survival. Most of the new people this time around, more so towards the bottom half of the tributes. Oh, and anyone who didn't know why I put George Costanza in here, he's actually from the first Hungary Games video I made, which was really a joke, but from 2 onward is way better. Our second new person is Henry Stickmin. 8 strength, 7 speed, 8 intelligence, 10 survival. Now, if you want to know how many new people are in here, there is 4 new people. I'm not going to tell you who I removed. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. Our third new person is Clark from Backrooms movie. 4 strength, 5 speed, and 7 intelligence, 6 survival. And we have one more new person, which is Dr. Phil. 2 strength, 2 speed, 7 intelligence, 5 survival. And those are all our new people. And everyone in here. Who do you think is going to do the best out of the new people? And who do you think is going to end up winning? Personally, me, I think it'll be Heinz, Doofenshmirtz who wins this time. And out of the new people, I think Clark will win. I would love to root for some of the other people, but it just makes sense for the guy who probably has the most average stats out of all the people here to win. But those are my predictions. Who do you think is going to win? Let me know down in the comments below. And let's see if I'm right or not. Wario catches Jenny Wakeman from behind and snaps their neck. You see, I was right to not trust them. Despite their 10, 9, 8, 10 stats, they still didn't do very well. So, that's why you shouldn't predict the really strong one to win all the time, because stuff like that can happen. Junko Enoshima snatches a canteen full of water and ducks behind a rock. Guest 1337 steps off the podium too soon. The mines detonate beneath them. Buzz Lightyear grabs a backpack, only to discover it is completely empty. Heinz Doofenshmirtz is trampled in the rush and never gets up. Well, my prediction's wrong. Jeez, I expected him to do a little better, but gosh, I didn't expect him to get out this early. Oh man, my prediction was super terrible. George Costanza steps off the podium too soon. The mines detonate beneath them. Well, this is expected. He didn't really have any strong stats, really. Squidward does the exact same thing. Jeez, why are so many people stepping off the podium too soon? Like, if they realize that they're exploding, they should at least wait a little. The third person. Tikal finds Clark hiding in the cornucopia, but Clark turns the knife on them. Moai Emoji snatches a canteen full of water and ducks behind a rock. Byakuya Togami is trampled in the rush and never gets up. Nothing does the exact same thing. Jeez, there's a lot of deaths that are here that are the same. There's our sixth person to either be trampled in the rush and never gets up, or went off their podium too early. Pikachu finds SMG3 hiding in the cornucopia, but SMG3 turns the knife on them. This might be one of Pikachu's only bad performances. I think this is his first bad performance. Cool Kid takes a spear from inside the cornucopia and braces. Benson and... I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrong. Yeebzy split a sack of supplies between them and head opposite directions. Henry Stickmin grabs a coil of rope and a lighter and disappears into the trees. That makes sense for his character. Monica clutches a first aid kit and sprints away from the cornucopia. Peppino grabs a coil of rope and a lighter, then disappears into the trees. And finally, Kirby and Miku wrestle over backpack. Miku wins it and bolts. Good to know that no one died there. But 9 people died. Rest in peace to Jenny Wakeman, Guest 1337, Heinz Doofenshmirtz, George Costanza, Squidward, Tikal, Byakuya Togami, Nothing, and Pikachu. 27 people remain, and District 3 is already out. Jeez. There's a lot more deaths than I was expecting. But that's what happens in this type of thing. So, let's see who's next. To epic face lets Shedletsky's fire go out, Shedletsky doesn't wake up. Matt Pat splits their last piece of bread with Yeebzy in the dark. Again, please tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. I've never heard of this person's specific name. This is my first time hearing about them. Buzz Lightyear puts an arrow through Cool Kid's silhouette against the firelight. Well, looks like we're not having a repeat winner. Probably. Markiplier climbs higher than they should, slips, and the fall finishes the job. Animatic follows the quiet river by moonlight to find a new spot. SMG3 fakes a snore to draw Miku in close. Miku was awake and closer than SMG3 thought. Something in the dark drags Dr. Phil away. The cannon fires a minute later. It must be Peter Griffin's shadowy friends. Monica swears an owl followed them for an hour. They aren't entirely wrong. Kirby listens to the cannon shots in the dark and counts how many are still alive. He is probably counting Dr. Phil. Junko Enoshima slips into Clark's camp at night and cuts his throat without a sound. For their character, that's absolutely something that would happen. Pepino climbs higher than they should, slips, and the fall finishes the job. Wow. From someone who's done really, really good a lot. This is a surprisingly bad placement for them. Shadow watches sand settle in for the night, then waits another hour before moving. Henry Stickmin lets Wario's fire go out. Wario doesn't wake up. Moai Emoji takes first watch. Walter White sleeps fitfully. And finally, Captain Underpants slits Benson's throat while Benson sleeps. 10 people died. So, rest in peace to Shedletsky, Cool Kid, Markiplier, SMG3, Dr. Phil, Clark, Pepino, Sans, Oreo, and Benson. There are 17 people remaining, and rest in peace to District 9, 10, 13, and 17. The districts currently alive with 2 people in them, with all the members still alive at least, are District 4, 6, and 16. Oh, and 7, I guess. But 7's definitely dying. 17 people remaining. Let's see who survives. Buzz Lightyear and Kirby have a falling out and part ways. That's the first time I've seen that logo. Miku starts feeling the first signs of dehydration. Animatic whispers something that sounds like an apology, then finishes Moai Emoji with a rock. Oh. For the first time, that actually happened with 2 people in the same district. Kenny grins at a hovering camera and gives a slow, sarcastic wave. Knuckles doesn't say anything when he puts the knife in Captain Underpants' chest. Shadow mistakes Yeezy for an enemy and shoots before realizing Yeezy doesn't survive. Finally, I don't have to say that really difficult name. Walter White nicks Junko Enoshima with a poison tip arrow. Junko Enoshima staggers, refused up and falls. To Epic Face fakes a sponsor parachute to draw Monica into the open. The arrow comes from the tree line. And finally, MacBat hurls a spear across the clearing and pins Polyrath to a tree. 6 people died, so rest in peace to Moai Emoji, Captain Underpants, Easy, Junko Enoshima, Monica, and Polyrath. 11 people are remaining. Districts 1, 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, and 17 are dead. And there are no districts who have 2 members alive in them. But Miku did start feeling the first signs of dehydration, so I'm not going to be surprised if they end up dying. But let's see if they do. To Epic Face slits Buzz Lightyear's throat while Buzz Lightyear sleeps. Walter White strings a wire across the path at ankle height. Miku's a stumble in the dark is the last sound she makes. Kirby builds a fire too large. Kenny follows the smoke and ends them. Henry Stickmin lights a torch to find Shadow. The light gets him found first. And finally, Animatic slits in Matt Pat's camp at night and cuts his throat without a sound. 5 people died, so rest in peace to Buzz Lightyear, Miku, Kirby, Henry Stickmin, and Matt Pat. This means that Henry Stickmin was the longest surviving out of all the noobs. Well, looks like my prediction was wrong. And for once, the strong character actually managed to survive really long. But anyways, rest in peace to District 4, 5, 15, no, 15, 14, and 12. Districts 2, 7, 8, 11, 16, and 18 are the last surviving districts. Who do you think's going to win out of the top 6? I think it'll be Animatic. Plus, it'd be nice at this point to have a repeat winner. I mean, it's been long enough. But let's see if I'm right. If you don't think I'm right, subscribe and like the video. But if you think I am right, subscribe and like the video. Shadow hurls a spear across the clearing and pins Walter White to a tree. Knuckles' stash of explosives ignites by accident. And to Epic Face betrays Kenny and shoves poisonous cheese down their throat. Well, for Knuckles, that totally makes sense for his character. And I continue to be right. Rest in peace to District 2, 11, and 18. Our last surviving districts are 7, 8, and 16. I predicted that District 7 would die. So I'm honestly very surprised at how far To Epic Face has been getting. But between To Epic Face, Shadow, and Animatic, who do you think's gonna win? Personally, I'd love to root for To Epic Face, but he's just not as strong as Shadow or Animatic. I think it'll be Animatic. But if To Epic Face dies, then we'll have our first repeat winner. Let's see if I'm right about Animatic surviving. I am not, because Shadow apologized to Animatic first. It doesn't change anything. Our final two are To Epic Face and Shadow. Who do you think's gonna win? I think it'll be Shadow. But if Shadow dies, then To Epic Face will win, and we won't have our first repeat winner. If you think Shadow is gonna win, like and subscribe. But if you think To Epic Face is gonna win, like and subscribe. We're down to our last 2 people remaining. Rest in peace to District 6. Rest in peace to District 16, of course. So, let's see in the final day who our winner is. The winner is Shadow. Now, let's see how he won. Of course, the stats are cool, but let's see how he won. Shadow chases To Epic Face down through the dying light and ends it. Rest in peace to Epic Face. Rest in peace to District 7. Shadow's the last one remaining. It took 7 days, and Shadow got the most kills. With 6 kills, he by far had the most. That's like 1/6 of the amount of people in the game. The top 3 killers took 16 people out. That's like almost half. But if you want to recommend a person to add in here, let me know down in the comments. Remember, like and subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. And I will see you in the next one.